Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're taking a look at the Atlantico. This is an old dockyard that is now back and available only if you gamble. Yeah, if you want Atlantico, to guarantee it, it's over $1,000 to get it out of these two-tiered Nian's treasure premium containers. And I'm here to talk about this ship and say, you're not really missing out on a whole lot. Given the new Pan-American battleship line is out, Ipiranga, Los Andes, Libertad, it kind of expands on the Atlantico playstyle and is honestly a little bit more enjoyable, perhaps. So don't feel the FOMO, is what I'm trying to say in this video. I think it's important to realize that some of these old dockyard ships, while very unique, I mean, there's just new tech tree lines that do this playstyle better. However, Atlantico does have a few things over Ipiranga that make it a little bit interesting, right? We do have the 234mm secondaries down at tier 8. Of course, we get those at tier 9 and 10 on the main line. But having them at tier 8 is pretty funny. You get these massive 59mm pen secondaries, huge fire chance, and alpha damage here. Atlantico also gets better detect than something like the Ipiranga, so our detection pretty much matches our secondary range here, which is extremely powerful, especially at tier 8, where you fight against mid-tier cruisers. Even mid-tier battleships aren't that strong to DPM you out very quickly. So while playing Atlantico, I found myself surviving a lot of situations that perhaps at higher tiers you might not with these brawling secondary battleships. Tier 8 really is just a lot easier, in random battles in particular, to make these pushing plays happening. And that concealment contributes quite a lot to that. Atlantico does have a little bit less HP than Ipiranga, but it does get the 381mm main guns. But they're AP only, look at that. This ship, if you haven't seen it before, has no access to high explosive. And these AP shells are fine. They're okay. I mean, Ipiranga getting only 356s is a downgrade, but the HE shells on that ship are kind of very, very good. So it works well as just a pure HE spammer. The Sigma is a little better, but still just 1.8 Sigma battleship dispersion. It's a little bit inconsistent from time to time, even if I aim better than that. Should not have taken that shot, certainly. These higher caliber secondaries, though, this is the big advantage, of course, with this ship. 59mm of pen. The Ipiranga still gets 38mm of pen on its 152s, so against the vast majority of ships we're going to be facing, it's not a huge difference. And what Ipiranga does get, which the entire tech tree line gets, is combat instructions. That's the gimmick they added, of course, and I won't lie, I kind of missed it here. It's really fun to have that extra gimmick on the tech tree ships that Atlantico just doesn't have, unfortunately. That gives you 25% better alpha damage for 30 seconds alongside 20% range on the secondaries and a 15% DPM buff too, just for those 30 seconds. You gain that by hitting enemies with the main shells, as well as taking a bit of potential damage too. It's not too hard to farm that up, and it is certainly a fun element to the tech tree line. And not having that on Atlantico was a little bit sad. I felt like I was missing out just a little bit there. Also, this ship is quite a bit slower, as well as has worse rudder. So no longer do the tech tree ones have that crazy acceleration that they had on launch. I think that was a really good nerf. I don't know why they gave it like that Vermont style instant acceleration and maneuverability. Good they tone that down, but it still has better maneuverability overall than the Atlantico. We see that on Ipiranga and Los Andes, that kind of thing. So I felt like I was playing an older battleship, one that is actually quite slow and not very good at dodging incoming fire or even torpedoes. This is a downside, of course, of this entire line too. All these Pan-American battleships, you do not have a hydro. So eating torps while pushing in, it hurts, certainly. But the torp belts are going to be the same at like 31% torp protection, which is kind of just middle of the road. It's not bad, but it's not a really good torp protection either. The heal, though, on Ipiranga actually heals back 16.8% HP per heal, where Atlantico's is the old classic 14%. So small changes all around, but the downside, of course, with the Ipiranga being the smaller caliber main guns, probably a little worse armor. Ipiranga does have a larger superstructure, and it also has a citadel, technically. Atlantico's is well below water, so you're not really going to be hitting that one. But Ipiranga's is so well angled. This is one of my main criticisms of this new Pan-American line. New, I say. It's been in the game for a while now. The citadels are so angled steeply. Yeah, they're above water, but they're just bouncing shells because to actually have the pen to get through that angle is very, very difficult, even when they're flat broadside. So functionally, it's pretty similar where they just don't have citadels. Great deck armor, great upper belt armor here. Very tanky ships overall with extreme secondary firepower. And probably the best way I can describe it is they're side grades of each other. This isn't really a situation where Atlantico's worse than Ipiranga. In certain situations, it's actually going to be a lot better. But there's plenty of others where Ipiranga will just outclass Atlantico by a little bit too. So for gamble containers, for 2-layer gamble containers, no. Just ignore Atlantico. It's fine that you don't have it. Just play the tech tree ones. In fact, I would probably choose to play the tech tree ones over Atlantico these days because of that combat instruction. I think it just adds more dynamic play to the ships. The maneuverability differences too felt a little bit nicer on the tech tree ships as well. So don't feel too bad about missing out on Atlantico. And now, Wargaming, please, please, just bring back these dockyards in the campaigns tab. Let people buy into them again. Don't have these FOMO mechanics. Don't have these multi-layered loot boxes. This is absolutely ridiculous and completely unacceptable. These are interesting ships. These are unique ships that you've already made. And you could have a massive, easy win on your hands here with the community if you just brought them back for a normal purchase, or at the very least brought back the dockyards as a direct purchase again and not have them time out. Right? Just bring them back as permanent fixtures in the campaigns tab. I think that would be a very, very easy win. Huge secondary damage on these shells. I mean, the alpha damage is absolutely wild. You're getting the like Goliath main guns. It's not quite that alpha damage, but think about that. Like tier 10 British heavy cruiser HE on secondaries. It is absolutely wild here. Although it's not like it's the best secondary DPM at tier 8 here. It's only 31,000 for both of these for the secondary hitting DPM. Ipiranga can boost that, of course, with the combat instruction quite a lot. But something like Massachusetts is up at 38k. Something like Zeton is 35,000. Tirpitz, Bismarck a little lower, 28,000. So it's kind of in the pack here. The M. Kelowna, that's the new one that we found in the Surcouf salvage. That one is at 44,000. The key here, though, is that you're still getting HE to get fires, but also you're getting pen to get very consistent pen damage in all the battleships and cruisers at this tier, where some of those other ones with smaller calibers aren't going to get there. We have 127s as well on both of these ships. But it's weird with Atlantico. Atlantico, the big guns have the full accuracy, like Schlieffen line, for example. The best secondary accuracy that you can get. But the 127s are that middle ground that we see on ships like the Bismarck and Tirpitz, the old standard German battleships. It's not as bad as just standard secondary accuracy, but it's by no means as good as something like the Schlieffen line. So it's a little weird. That's maybe what's holding back Atlantico a little bit, but the 127s are really not the majority of your damage. They light fires here and there. It's really the big caliber secondaries, which we have incredible angles on, both the Atlantico as well as the Ipiranga. Here, Atlantico is 17 degrees forward and 20 degrees backwards. Kind of insane. Ipiranga still gets like 25 degrees forward and 30 degrees backwards, which is totally fine. They play so similarly, though. That's the key here, is they just play so similar. Sometimes when these new premiums and dockyards come out, I get the FOMO. I get caught up in it as well when the playstyle is so different and so unique. It brings new mechanics, that kind of thing. But here, bringing back Atlantico, when it was released, yeah, it certainly was that FOMO ship that you really wanted to get. Nowadays, though, Ipiranga, the rest of the Pan American battleship line, it's the same playstyle, guys. I don't see any reason to be really going hard to gamble to try and get yourself an Atlantico anymore. It sucks that it's in these containers if you wanted it, but I'm here to tell you that you're getting basically the exact playstyle and maybe more fun in some ways with just the regular tech tree ships. And you know what? Why don't we play some Ipiranga just to see this thing in action? We got HE this time. Not just AP. Yeah, and it gets 5k and a fire. Beautiful. We'll need a fire in return. That's okay. These secondaries still have enough pen. That's the thing. Against Massachusetts, something like that. Still got the pen. So, how's the playstyle any different? Well, we have the combat instructions, right? It's really fun then. Oh, this is a very interesting setup. All right, let's go with the AP. Do we bounce that? Ooh, we still ate a little bit more than I would have liked to. That's all right. That's okay. Well, why not? I don't think the Massachusetts is gonna get over this, so I'm okay with giving a little bit more broadside here. Making sure we fire all the secondaries, and why don't we use our combat instructions here? Great stuff. Bismarck, though. Well, we're on the AP, so we're seeing enough broadsides. 21k, big. Yeah, we ate a lot in return, but look at our heal. It's just so much more impactful. Yeah, we definitely want to be staying angled, though. Looks like they're focusing us, actually, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to focus on Massachusetts here because our secondaries will have the best pen against him. He's also the most sharply angled, so I can angle better to, like, Sinop and Bismarck than I can to Massachusetts if I want to shoot at him. Notice our combat instructions are almost up yet again. We're on 67k. I do think HE's probably good here still. Let's see. Bridgeport on his way in. Sure. I'm actually going to damage control that. Yeah, Massachusetts eating a lot of damage here because he's so broadside. And we'll get some into him here. Bridgeport on his way in. Secondaries again. I am going to turn in here. Yeah, good. And I want to focus this Massachusetts still. Just focus with the other side now. 37 seconds till we get our next heal. I'd love to see it. And planes coming in. Bismarck is broadside, so we'll go after him. You know, we're just aiming really high here. Upper belts, that kind of thing. Great, got 11k. All right, we're activating all the buffs from our special commander here. We're getting our heal back sooner. Ow, that hurt. All right, let's go here. Great stuff. We get our heal now. And we should be able to take out this Bismarck. Hopefully don't eat too much from the bombs here. Great. Give me the F key again. Yes, yes, we're doing it, guys. I mean, do you need to buy an Atlantico? I don't think so. All right, so let's kill that guy with the secondaries. Actually, team got him. Great stuff, great stuff. And we reverse. Hopefully enough to cut angles here. We'll have a Veneto to deal with soon. 37 seconds, and we get our... I think I've cut that angle enough. We get our heal soon. All right. 2.4 mil potential damage at this point. Pretty good, pretty good. Bro, when I go to live record, that does not usually work out this well. This is nuts. All right, Veneto on his way in. Great. Okay, this is best case scenario for something like an Ipiranga, but do you need an Atlantico? No shot, bro. You do not need an Atlantico. No need to FOMO gamble, all right? There is zero need to FOMO gamble here. This is crazy. Oh man, that's awesome. We are completely out of heals though, unfortunately. That is a problem here. I'm actually going to go to Ichi again because I am assuming that we are going to be dealing with this Sinop angled. Can I out-accelerate that? We shall see. Looks like the answer is no. That's bad. Wait, he's going broadside. Why would he go broadside? Both carriers are on us? Oh, how sad. How sad is that? Maybe he misses? Oh, I mean, bad dispersion. Yeah, we get that. All right, nice. Great. I whiffed. No, I did good. I did good. Accelerate and turn in. Or turn out, please. Great, great, great. Got the H. Triple fire! Are we serious? Oh my goodness, what is this? What is happening right now? I'm taking it. We'll take it. Probably my best game in Ipiranga. Just randomly started up on a whim to say, hey, let's play this. Who needs Atlantico, guys? Who needs Atlantico? All right, angle me. Nice. And an arsonist. Huge. Huge game, guys. Huge game. Hopefully they can deal with that Massachusetts there. We are going to be running away. We want to waste as much time of these carriers if they are so bent on getting us. So we'll turn like this. We want to force him to the worst angle possible to deal with us. Oh, Massachusetts. Maybe we're angled enough. Please. Okay, nice. We get a fire. Huge. Ow. 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 Don't kill me. Wait. Wait, this is actually really good because he's about to exit his secondary range. Actually, he doesn't have secondary range. But we get our F key. We get our F key, guys. Oh no, we got a shot. Accelerate me. Okay, we at least trade. We at least trade. Please. Oh, we live. No. Back turrets, 3,000. It's an overped. It's an overped. It's an overped. It's an overped. We live. I mean, the playstyle's basically the same, guys. It's pretty much the same thing. So, are you really gonna gamble on an Atlantico when you could have this? I'd argue that with the special commander Lisboa, that I would rather play Ipiranga, man. Although we'll see how much secondary damage we actually did, but with this F key, man, like, it's pretty hype. It's pretty hype. I had a good time here. Very fortunate to get tier 8 game and to get to Brawl like this and all that, but we'll take it. We'll take it. Surely, right? Drift me! Please, I want to live! Yes! Oh, we live those! So easy! Yes, and they get them. What a game! What a game! Atlantico can do that too, is the other thing, right? If you have Atlantico, it's great. It's still a good battleship for sure. But if you don't have an Atlantico, just play an Ipiranga. We get the E and everything. Just play Ipiranga, guys. It's excellent. Absolutely excellent here. How much secondary damage? 100k plus 47 in fires. Yeah, it's, I mean, you just don't need an Atlantico. I'm doing this because Atlantico is so expensive. I wish I could make a video on Atlantico and talk about how fun it is and how it's cool, and maybe you should grind out the Dockyard because they made it available as a campaign. But that's not the case. They're making these old Dockyards only available in absurd gambling containers. It's ridiculous. So no, if we're covering Atlantico again, I'm gonna tell you that it's not worth it. It's just not worth it, man. Thousands of dollars? Bro, if you get a little bit unlucky, that approaches $2,000. Like, I paid that much for like a 4090 a couple years ago. Like, for one ship that plays identically pretty much to an Ipiranga? No. Good. I'm glad we could show that. Most of you probably are feeling the same way. But man, just Wargaming, please bring them back in a campaigns tab. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Make this a Dockyard screen. Make it a Dockyard screen. A couple years after the Dockyard released in its initial form, FOMO event, where you gotta grind it out in the 2 months or so that you get for the combat missions. A couple years later, just put it in here. You know, let me click on it and pay doubloons to get into it. Maybe it's more doubloons to get into it here because it doesn't go away. Like 40 to 60 bucks to get into a Dockyard that's 2 years old and permanently available then for you to grind out at your leisure. That would be ideal. I think this is just the best way possible to reintroduce Dockyard ships. I think you'll get a lot of goodwill from the community. People will like it. People want to play the game more. More reasons to play. Playtime matters a lot to you guys, I know. And I think for the average player, there's a lot of interesting ships in Dockyards that they would like to get access to. and they're sad they missed out on. In this case, Atlantico, probably not worth it because Ipiranga does the same thing. But still, there's people that would be interested in it regardless. And I think it's really too bad that there's no reasonable way to get back into some of these dockyards. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.